Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wingcat Sports, and it's a weekly Tigers breakdown. Kind of, not really. News and rumors going around the Tigers this week. Try to be more often with them, obviously, as they pop up. But some stuff has happened this week. We'll start from the stuff we haven't really talked about as much, and move our way down. So, starting the first thing that's happened this week is Alex Cobb is unlikely to be ready for the start of the season. He did have surgery, I think on his hip last year, and it kind of aggravated something this year. I don't know if he got surgery again, but he is not going to be likely to start the season. So the signing of Jack Flaherty kind of helps a little bit with that. But they injected some planet-rich plasma into his right hip to kind of help him, but he's not going to be ready for the start of the season. So spring training, we're going to be looking at two potential rotation spots open. If I had to place a bet on it, it's probably going to be. I wouldn't mind Montero and Job being the two to start the year. Put Casey Mize and Maeda in the bullpen.
Oh yeah, I'm all for that.
And they're usually good for an
Someone
inning.
else's.
They're usually good for an inning or two, but once they get past the second inning, they start to get a little iffy. But hey, if Mize makes the rotation or Maeda makes the rotation to start the year, it is what it is. If worse comes to worse, you're doing a rotation of people. I think Montero and Job would be a good bottom part to your lineup. Montero threw a complete game shutout last year, though against a bad team, but those don't happen that often anymore.
How long is Flaherty supposed to be out?
Flaherty's not out. Alex Cobb's out.
Just Alex Cobb. Okay.
Alex Cobb is out. So that leaves two rotation spots for the grabs, even though most people feel Casey Mize will be the starter. I've also seen people speculating whether or not he is going to be a bona fide starter in the lineup.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be rough watching Casey Mize hasn't really panned out.
He got hurt. Tommy John does that.
Right. It'd be not. It'd be great, but right now I wouldn't count on him. I'd rather see Job and Montero.
I would say your other options are Ty Madden and Matt Manning, who pitched multiple innings in the MLB and not been terrible. They've not been fantastic, but they've not been terrible.
Right.
But there's options. It's something to look for through spring training. It does start Saturday. And we'll see what ends up happening. They did trade one of their relief pitchers because they have been, kicking some people out. Shelby Miller's on the team. He signed a 1-year deal. They traded Baedo away a couple weeks ago. Engler got traded this past week. We traded for a minor league lefty, Drew Summers. And then we also Tampa Bay transfers. So we got Drew Summers in the trade because we were designating Mason Engler for assignment. So we got more lefties in the minors. But the reason is, again, we signed a pitcher for our bullpen, John Brebbia. He was with the White Sox and Braves last year. He didn't do terrible. Had 67 Ks, 67 strikeouts on the year. His ERA was not the best, though. 5.86, 2 saves, and a 136 whip.
Playing for the White Sox.
He played for the White Sox and was traded to the Braves at one point a year. If it gives you an idea of how it changes, when he was with the Braves, though he only pitched 5 games for the Braves, he had a 2.7 ERA compared to his 6.29 with the White Sox through 54 games. So
they'd probably look at him in the 3-4 ERA
probably
range with us.
He had 48 innings pitched with, again, well, not 48. He had 54 innings pitched with a total of 67 Ks. So
what's up with Torkelson? Any more news on that front?
Since Pete Alonso got signed, there has been no major news on Torkelson. So we'll see what ends up happening this year. I expect more of a platoon with Colt Keith. Any left-handed pitchers, you'll probably see Torkelson batting more at first base, but I don't expect him to be out there that much, to be honest. There's going to be a lot of doing what AJ Hinch does. A lot of players moving around and switching.
Yep.
No one's going to be safe.
Good at.
Yeah, nobody is playing a complete 9 innings in games with AJ Hinch managing. So that's what I expect. A lot of moving until either we get some minor trade done. I forget whether or not I'll even look it up. I think I heard somewhere, but I think there is maybe a team or two looking at potentially trading for him. But since the Mets signed Pete Alonso again, it's kind of up in the air of who is a first base needy team um, overall in the majors. But I haven't really seen too much besides the Mets looking for his services. So
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's going to be hard to dump him, but I think you're at a point now where maybe the platoon will work. Maybe that'll work.
I think that's what is probably going to happen, because they're not going to fully trade him unless he starts throwing up a little bit of a hot bat. Um, That'd be the only thing I would think is going to
He's a very
likely
good
happen.
defensive first
He
baseman.
is. He's very good defensively. It's just that offense is hurting him. Other news that happened this week. We finally got an answer to the Alex Bregman saga, and he has decided to go play with Boston, making $40 million a year instead of making about 23, 24 million a year here in Detroit. Detroit did offer him a 6-year deal. I don't know necessarily about opt outs, because I know there's an opt out after every year for Bregman's deal in Boston. Um, but he went with the shorter term contract that was more money instead of coming and playing at Comerica Park for the next 6 years. Um, you can't say Illich wasn't trying. You had the best offer out there on the table, the most money out there on the table, and the most years out there on the table. But Bregman just overall did not want to sign for that length in money to play in Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do anything. They made the offer. They made they made a legit, um, you know, took a legit shot at him, and you can't really fault the Lions management on this one
Well, Tigers management, not the
or
Lions.
Tigers.
Not the Lions. But again, personally, I didn't want Alex Bregman. I thought that would have been a bad move to make. He definitely would not have fit well. Probably after a couple years. Again, you're blocking your minors.
Who
Uh,
does fit here, though? I mean,
you. The problem is you have so many young guys, and if you're going to sign someone to 6 years like Bregman, now who are you kicking off the team?
right?
You sign him to play third
He's
base
a
next.
hell of a player.
You sign him to play third base next 6 years. Okay, bye, Jung. You're not on the team anymore. You won't ever see
Maybe
the
that's
light.
what it is.
You won't ever see the light of day in Detroit again. You know,
You love him that much.
likely what's going to happen. And I don't know why no one's talking about uh Abanez playing third base. Everyone says Veerling will be playing third base, which is possible. Veerling is not terrible at third base. But I say look out for Andy Abanez to be playing third base. He's not going to be playing second because, again, Gleyber Torres is here, and he will be playing second this year. No shortstop will be Baez. At worst, maybe Abanez plays shortstop here and there, and then Veerling plays third. You're also going to have potentially Trey Sweeney if his bat wakes up playing shortstop this year. There's a lot of question marks totally with that basically left side of the infield, mostly third base. But I'm going to go with probably a Veerling, Andy Ibanez kind of third base. Is probably what you're going to expect. And I don't know why people keep forgetting about Andy Ibanez. He has usually one of the higher batting averages on the team. He's just not hitting home runs.
No.
He's a pure
I think
contact
you're right.
hitter.
I mean, I think we shore up our pitching. I think we could go into the year with the team that we had last year. We just need a few arms, and we've gotten a few arms. So let's see what happens. I don't think they're going to make a big move. You're right. I mean, I think Bregman was their one shot, and then I think
Look,
they're going to be happy after this.
there's only a few probably bigger name free agents out there. And it all depends on also where you want to go after this year, because Bregman wouldn't be who's going to make your team better. Your outfield is set. Okay, Parker Meadows should be a lot better this year. He started out slow last year, and if he can play how he did at the end of the year last year, the whole year, he'll be great. Riley Green should be, again, a top 5 left fielder in baseball. Look at right field. Wenzel Perez probably should be your almost everyday starter in right field. He did good enough last year. I would give him the shot.
Whatever happened to the right fielders? You actually could throw the ball.
Wenzel Perez can throw the ball.
Can you throw the ball really?
But also, Kerry Carpenter, he could play right field every now and then too, if you want to move people around. But I think Wenzel Perez should be your everyday right fielder, or at least play often between McKinstry and uh, Perez, because Perez did well last year. He batted top of your team again in average. Your only question mark really is backup catcher and third base because Dingler is not a good solution as a backup catcher. Rogers is okay as a very good defensive catcher, just doesn't hit fantastic. Besides timely hits, but it's up to basically what they decide to do with who plays where. Because this team is a team of everybody can almost play everywhere.
Right.
And that's how it is. Everybody rotates. You have your few people who stay in one position, but half the team can play 4 or 5 different positions on the field. And that's what they're gonna roll with. Looking at other things, it looks like Harry Carpenter might get more opportunity this year to hit against left-handed hitters than he did last year, which would be good, right? See if he can get used to it. As an MLB player, you should be able to hit at least semi-decently against the pitching that you are batting. Not just right-handers as a lefty. You should be hitting okay against left-handed hitters and being a really, really good hitter. So kind of looking at Baez, expect him to be, getting off his hip surgery and potentially, I'm going to say Baez probably will not be better, but maybe he'll be a little bit better batting after the hip surgery. Defensively, we'll see how well he's moving around. You're still stuck with him for 3 more years or 2 more years. 2027, I think, is when his contract is up. So you still got a couple years of Javier Baez left before he's off the books. But it's going to be an interesting kind of spring training, looking at who's going to be the pitcher, who might make their noise at being third base. There could be someone who we don't even consider a possibility to playing third base and put their name in spring training as playing third base because there's a total opening there, I'm going to say, because Vierling can play anywhere. You're going to put him in right, put him in right. You put him in left, you put him in left. But
Right. I mean, we're very versatile, this team. And Hinch likes that. So you're going to see a lot of different kind of lineups. And they're going to experiment quite a bit.
let's see who we have left. If there's any kind of players left in free agency. Mostly I'm concerned about pitchers because that is the main thing. If I could even get this up real quick before we're done here and not deal with. So let's see who's left. Patrick Corbin is a starting pitcher you could get. Anthony Rizzo. No, you're not. You're looking for a first baseman. So you're not really looking there. You could try and sign Mark Hanna back. Kyle Gibson might not be bad as a bottom of the lineup. JD Martinez is still a free agent, though we don't have any room for him on our team. I'm mostly concerned about pitching than anything. There's no big names out there. Left. Drew Smiley apparently is a free agent. He wouldn't be bad for a bottom of the line. Bring him back, bottom of the rotation guy.
Right.
But there's no surprising names kind of left. You can try to bring Andrew Chafin back for the bullpen if you really, really wanted to. But yeah, nothing surprising left on here. We'll end it here though. Let me know what you think, down in the comments about everything going on with the Tigers. Bregman signing with the Red Sox, all that kind of stuff. How you think the year might go. We're just around spring training again. It is Saturday. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, we'll see everybody soon.